Good morning, Samoa, and welcome back to Star Trek The Original Series, Season 1, Episode 27, The Alternative Factor, or as the real fans know it, Episode 20, where today, how do I turn on the timer without... I thought I have that to a button, but I don't remember what it is. Yes, where today we are going to be watching mid-level 1960s science fiction, as I recall correctly. I'll talk about Prodigy soon. How we're going to review it is not the content of Prodigy. I'm not French. But if you don't know what we're doing today, we are basically doing making an audio commentary track live, as I have to adjust, because the way I found to sit down is actually quite uncomfortable, and the mic is in the way. So, legally, of course, I can't just stream an episode of Star Trek, audio or visuals. So, it's bring your own video. There's a link to Paramount Plus in the description. In a little bit, we're all going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and then we're all going to hit play, and then we'll be synced up. I watched the remastered versions, just a personal preference. It'll probably come up in this episode a few times. As I remember, it's kind of special effectsy. But it shouldn't affect the runtime of episodes, so we'll be synced. But if I comment on a visual effect, it might look different for you. Paramount Plus, last I checked, they do have the remaster. I'm very unprepared. I need to get my sweatshirt. I always have to explain whenever I do like a zipper sound on a stream with no visual. But yeah, we're almost wrapping up season 1. I think we've got like 2 months, which is really not that many episodes. 20? There's like 30. We're like 10 episodes away, yeah, till we get season 2 thumbnail. I know what the character is for season 2. I can't wait to update this really outdated Spock. But as I would imagine everyone here knows, well, my phone is locked, and that has my notes. Prodigy releases on, I believe it's Monday, July 1st on Netflix. Paramount Plus raising the price of subscription mile. We're just waving here from Netflix. But when I say Prodigy comes out, I mean the whole thing. All 20 episodes drop. I've actually just realized it's some point on the 1st. I don't know when that is. I assume it's midnight, like, technically, of the 31st. We're going to work under the assumption it's before 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yeah, the way I'm going to review it, I'll do a little video with more detail. But basically, it's going to be like the normal Star Trek reviews, where I watch an episode and then review it. But, I expect reviewing Prodigy, if it's like the live streams for season 1, to take about 24 hours of being live and watching Prodigy. Not at the same time, watching Prodigy and then being live. Which is a lot. I am not just going to spend 24 hours streaming. I can't do that. So basically what we're going to do is on the first around like 3:30 to 4. Actually, the first one is a 2-parter. So probably around like 4:30 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, as always. Everything is Pacific Standard Time. We are gonna review episodes 1 and 2 because it's a 2-parter. You can look at Memory Alpha, see all the names. And we're only gonna review episodes 1 and 2. I will have only seen episodes 1 and 2 at that point. That's probably the only one we're gonna do. But basically, on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we'll basically do that because I'm working. It has to start later in the day, so we'll do 1 or 2 episodes where, I'll watch the episode. I'll do the live stream. I'll go watch the next episode, and then we'll do the live stream with like little breaks, maybe for people to get like food or bathrooms or something. But on the 4th. That is, of course, the 4th of July, American Independence Day, Thursday the 4th. So I have it off. I don't work. So basically that entire day, we're just going to be wherever we've left off from the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. just all-day streams. Hopefully that gives people time to, like, watch. You know, they might miss the first few episodes, but they can then come for, like, basically the whole day. We will be, I watch an episode, I go live, I leave, like, half an hour later, we're back for another live stream. The 5th is a Friday, so I can take a day off work and get a free, like, 5-day weekend, actually. Why is it 5 days? 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought it was 5 days. Work might be giving me a holiday I don't know about. But yeah, we'll hopefully finish Prodigy on Friday. We can bleed into the weekend if we have to. I'm hoping it's not going to take too long, but that is how we're planning on doing Prodigy. Just basically over that week. It'll be the week of Prodigy. But yeah, I think, as I said, I'll do a little video probably, like, maybe today, tomorrow. Go into more detail. It'll be a logistical challenge. I know I can do more streams than once. We did it for those old scientists when I didn't know it was going out one day. But hopefully my voice doesn't go too shot. And that is why there's no live stream tomorrow. Also, Caden can't do Doctor Who. But yeah, I think we've rambled enough. Shall we get into the episode? The Lazarus Experiment. No, it's not. That's Doctor Who. The Alternative Factor. Yes, I said, I remember just the weird thing about this one. Just that it, spoilers, but it handles antimatter really strangely. And that, you'll notice a trend when we do these reviews and your watch-throughs. If you just do a scientific concept strangely, I'm, you know, it's harder for me to get into it. And I don't mean, like, the Strange Worlds musical episode. I mean, like, just misunderstanding a science concept, and then that's the foundation of your episode. Hello, Doctor Who's The Satan Pit. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe it's better than I thought. I remember, you know what, at the very least, it should be kind of fun in, like, campy ways. As I lean way back, I really need a mic arm, but I also need a desk. Like, yeah. So hard. Anyways, as I said before, we are going to do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On go, we're all going to hit play. Those of you on Paramount Plus, hopefully remember to go through all, like, the ads and stuff. You should really buy physical media, but anyway. Let's get started. No, let's not. Let's actually mute system output. I swear I have this on a button, because I have to hide my mouse. You used to be able to drag this thing, like, off the monitors. There, you can see it moving. And then they updated VLC Media Player to remove that feature. Why? That was so useful. Okay, countdown time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, I just remembered I still need to upload sped up versions of Doctor Who, don't I? Whoops. Nice butt. I'm paranoid now every time after the menagerie that this is actually the right episode. Largely aerated. In fact, it's like outer LA, if I were to put a description. When was the last time we did this? Man, it's been almost a month. It feels weird seeing, like, original Spock and stuff like that. Has it really been almost a month? That doesn't... Was I busy? That's weird. I'll look into that later. Oh yeah, this, like... Wait, well, let Spock explain it before I judge it. I do remember, like, vaguely the plot of this episode, like usual. I mean, I guess it is hard to critique, like, such a... What would happen if our universe touched another for a little bit? It's an interesting premise. I mean, you know, we're well before the ages of scope creep. Yeah, Fahrenheit! Woo! Best measurement system, and I mean that unironically. One day I need to make a video on why the imperial system is just objectively better than the metric system, but God, I need to somehow tie that into Star Trek or Doctor Who. Because it's out every time I've explained it to people, they've gone like, "Yeah, you're right." I mean, to be fair, they are Americans. I do live in America, but. Does it make sense that they'd still be using Fahrenheit? Maybe not, because just you'd have to convince the rest of the world, and I don't think that'll happen. But it is nice seeing the better measurement system being used. Fahrenheit is better than C. I don't know. That's the song. It is. Boom, boom, boom. I've thought it might be like an April 1st video, but it's entirely serious is the problem. I don't want people to think it's like satirical. It's just better. Hey, I recognize this desert. I mean, it is, you know, the same like rocks every time, but it does look good whenever they do the location filming. Of, let's see, 4 unnamed, unrecognized red shirts. I don't remember anyone dying on this mission, but that is a little excessive. Oh, wow, look at that. That's proper old school. That's one of the few, in fact, that might be the only, like, TOS Star Trek design that doesn't look Star Trek. It looks like it's the 60s, or hell, maybe even a bit earlier. Although it is weirdly sort of like Enterprise-y, I guess. You got a saucer. That was a convincing stunt. I was actually wondering if we were gonna see it. What was I watching the other day? I think it was Doctor Who, the Dalek invasion of Earth, where they have a stunt where someone like properly throws themselves off a cliff. That's like, it's technically a hill, but it's like the cheese run hill, and they just proper like go down that hill. It's like, dang, are they okay? I always love seeing actors like that in old media because it looks like a very modern style, and it just looks so out of place next to an older production. You know, it's a good thing of any time that this, like, catastrophe could happen. It's when there was a Federation starship right at the location where it happened. I don't remember there being invaded. Have we met Klingons yet? Is there, like, is it the Klingon War? All of them? Well done, Captain Kirk. Kirk does not deserve his reputation, but God, he does deserve parts of his reputation. Like, does he think it's extra-dimensional invaders? Because that would be weird. Does he think someone in the galaxy has literally disrupted the entire universe to invade the Federation? Like, Kirk was surprised when he got a warning from the Federation saying this was an invasion. But evidently, Kirk, you know what? He's just sucking up to the boss. It's like, boss says it's an invasion, I say it's an invasion. Nope. OBS just weirded out. I think we're still good, though. Shoutouts to Lazarus's facial hair. His glittery beard. With zero depth. So, I mean, no. Something destroyed your entire civilization that has communication satellites, but you were the only individual in orbit around the whole time? At the same time, though, I guess it is a little weird for Kirk not to believe him that, like, yeah, some incredibly powerful being is doing bad stuff. Kirk evidently beat the guy up on the way down here, too. I mean, we've been over this as well, but we all love... Oh my goodness, we all love Spock. But, God, is he bad at logic. He could have been lied to. This guy could have had his memory altered. He could have simply been mistaken. The extremely powerful life form with the ability to manipulate the entire universe simultaneously may be hiding in some way which you can't detect. Stranger Worlds has got a lot of legwork to do if it ever wants to get Ethan Peck Spock anywhere close to this guy in, like, a few years. This is interesting, though, because, as I said, I am watching the remastered, but this doesn't feel particularly remastered. I mean, it's probably cleaned up some film or, like, green screen work, but I imagine this is a lot how the original looked. I'm also curious. I remember like what's happening, but how much the show reveals. Because if the show's very tight-lipped about this is kind of a weird, somewhat high concept mystery, especially like for the time. That's just super unexplained, and I don't think we have a lot of episodes like that in TOS. Like, I think everything gets explained, you know, at a sort of reasonable pace, or like as it comes to be relevant. Is he still beat up? That's what I want to know. Oh, he's even more beat up. Ooh, he's got red paint for blood. This guy's acting performance, though, is, we'll call it interesting. He leans into biblical stuff quite a lot and is very over the top. You know, I've just clicked that dermal regenerators are anachronistic before TOS, aren't they? Because they just use those band-aids. I don't know, you've met Trelane. This is... I wonder if this was in some way an inspiration for the burn, because there are some surface level similarities. He said, "Get to the point, Bones." This is interesting, though, because Lazarus is, you know, spoiler warning, swapping places with his, like, antimatter self. But that's only when, like, there's those big explosions across the galaxy. But there wasn't one right then, unless I'm misremembering the story. Oh yeah, no pips. I was like, Lieutenant. Wait, Lieutenant? You don't have any... Wait, none of the dresses have rank. If I've never noticed... Do the dress uniforms not have a rank? I mean, to be fair, that guy in a shirt doesn't have a rank either. I guess maybe a lot of the uniforms just don't have rank, but that was not a lieutenant. No, is it? I have to Google this. Star Trek TOS dress unit. Oh, that might get the wrong thing. Yeah, not the dress uniform. What are they actually called? Oh, well, no, see, he's just swapped places again, but there wasn't... I guess the whole universe didn't explode. Okay, good. Uhura does have a rank. I was like, I knew, she's gotta. But yeah, most of the dresses don't have, there's another one. Huh. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that. I assume that's the evil version, then. I don't remember. See, there's some rank. The security guys got rank. I think they just didn't put rank on most of the dresses. Presumably for sexist reasons. So the effect is there, there's just no cause. Come on, Spock. That's weird, though, because it's an antimatter universe, right? So isn't it exactly following our physical laws? Just put some minus sides in front? We only have one of them, you know? Yeah, I don't know about this. This episode's just like... I don't know what's missing, but it's just one of those that's not really doing much for me. It might be the, like, guest stars acting. Or it's just that nothing's happening. Like, what's happened? The universe blew up. They picked up this guy. He seems to be, like, swapping between two different states, and that's the story. 20 minutes in. Like, your Lower Decks episode is about to end. Ooh, ranks. Oh, that girl had rank. Maybe it was just that cafeteria. It was like all the rankless people. So yeah, narratively, there's like the matter Lazarus and the antimatter Lazarus. So you might be asking, how can they like touch each other? How can the antimatter Lazarus exist in our universe surrounded by matter without instantly like blowing up? And I think it's because they're going with the logic that, like, you need an like, Lazarus to cancel out a Lazarus. But I don't think that's how antimatter works. Like, certainly not at that scale. But, like, do you need would So, like, antimatter, right? If you have, like, a proton and an antiproton, they'll annihilate each other. An electron and a positron will annihilate each other. You know, that's how it works. But, like, if you have an anti-oxygen molecule, do you need an anti-oxygen molecule? Or will, like, just all the protons and electrons in the universe tear it apart? And that's what I don't know. But I feel like, you know, you can't just have an anti-person exist in the world and be like, ah, that's fine. Man. She was so unobservant, but Lazarus was so impatient. Just a super failure on both parts. Who wrote this episode? I'm curious what else they wrote. Actually, I might read a bit of, like, the making of. Who wrote this? Don Inglis, a name I don't recognize. No, they're dead. Oh, he also wrote A Private Little War, which is the episode that's just depressing. A Private Little War is the episode where they find a planet that's all peaceful, they give them guns, they go to war, and then they get sad and it ends. That's the episode. Well, what happened to your mustache? One of these days, I'd like a show with a Lazarus. Hey, he's grown back his facial hair. That has absolutely no relation to the biblical character of Lazarus. It's just like a coincidental name. Because Lazarus is the guy who was he brought back to death, or like he is something about immortality. He might have been immortal. I don't remember. And so, like, any sci-fi that deals with any sort of, like, immortality stuff is always a Lazarus. Is evidenced by that Doctor Who episode I mistakenly referenced because it has Lazarus in the title. Oh, is it time for one of the 4 red shirts to finally bite it? Oh, let's place our bets. Oh, there's a black guy. I don't rate the odds of that black guy surviving much. But at least they gave him a rank, you know? At least they gave him a rank. Hey, Vasquez rocks, I'm pretty sure. I think we're seeing him from a different angle, though. This episode kind of has, like, nothing memorable, I guess. I don't know why. Why are we watching all these episodes? Wouldn't you rather see me react to, like, Deep Space Nine or stuff? Well, too bad. We're gonna wait, like, 10 years or something to get through all of these. I don't remember. It's a long time. 700 episode? What actually is it? Yeah, just a casual 12 years to, like, finish the franchise. I should do Star Trek on weeks we don't do Doctor Who, just to help kind of get through things faster. We'll see. Someday I might do more than one a week, but... Ba-da-boom. Boom. Ba-da-boom. Do you think there's like a sort of queue system to get access to the Vasquez rocks? Are they so in demand that like the Californian government has to? Oh, well, he's dead. They have to, you know, coordinate with film studios. I mean, there probably is some sort of permit for filming just in general. But whatever. I don't know. Oh, two of the red shirts died as well. They weren't even here to die. That blood's better than earlier in the episode. Why did your beard grow back? That was kind of weird. So here we get the final explanation, I guess. So are you saying the planet below is Earth, or was that more metaphorical? Actually, I'm more confused. So are you from the past? And you went forward to this dead planet? Actually, no, that's even messier than I remember. Also, yeah, it is funny that, like, you know, yeah, this shouldn't be, it's like, yeah, we've met time travelers. In fact, next episode, you become time travelers. If you were to watch this in release order, I'm pretty sure the cast of the show are time travelers at this point, because you've got Tomorrow is Yesterday. Hang on. List of episodes. Episodes. Tomorrow is Yesterday is episode 19. This is episode 27 by release order. So yes, at this point of the series, the crew of the Enterprise are time travelers. I'm pretty sure they discovered time travel in, like, the first episode or something as well. I don't remember what episode it was, but they definitely discovered time travel at some point. He just looks so uncomfortable, like, so hot in all of his scenes, wearing that just horrible mustache. They are. Man, that's a detail that I've Spock, whoever wrote Spock this episode is hitting a low bar here. Even for TOS Spock. Wait. Is it also antimatter, which is from our universe? Well done. Great acting. I'm sorry, that was a good delivery, but like no facial reaction whatsoever from Shatner there. Well, we do have subspace. What does Kirk think he's meaning? Like, Kirk should understand antimatter stuff, but like a minus universe? Oh, the 60s. We've had a lot of this shot as well, where a character's in shadow, but their light is in sun. That's got to be like a black and white thing, because it always just looks kind of weird and unnatural. Like, it makes you think of the framing of the shot and like the shot itself, and it kind of takes you out of the action. A door? Yep. I'm sure there's a story you could tell here, but this isn't it. Well, that's not true either. But one day, Spock's gonna say something in this episode that I agree with. You know, maybe. Wait, under certain conditions? Is it not? Is it not like any condition? See, this is the thing. I don't actually know, but like I feel this isn't it, and that's kind of a problem. I feel you could even potentially have made an episode with this idea of this antimatter universe, and kind of use it as an explanation for like why our universe is mostly matter as well. You could maybe do some interesting stuff here to add credence to your story. Sorry, I've just realized those gold painted little grippy arms. That anyone who's ever like soldered something, alligator clips, that's what they're called. But yeah, because like what our universe is mostly well, I mean the matter in our universe is mostly normal matter, as opposed to antimatter, but like we don't really know why, and there's no there's no real reason that we've been able to find that that would be the case. Like you would expect an equal amount of matter and antimatter, and so basically they would both just cancel each other out. So for some reason, there was at least a little bit more matter than antimatter at the start of the universe, and we don't know why. That's just weird. The whole point is there's not really supposed to be like a difference. Like, as I said, if the universe were mostly antimatter, it would work the same way. I see we don't have fire suppression systems. Oh, never mind. There's your fire suppression system. And the one guy who just, like, I don't know, left his breakfast in there. What is it? Like, first day, are you drunk? What was that face? Like, man, I picked a bad day to smoke this 2 packets of weed. I don't know. I was trying to come up with a high number. Oh my god, there's still 11 minutes left in this episode. This has got to be like one of, if not the slowest episodes of the original series. People complain about season 3. Look, I think there's a lot of good stuff in season 3. I don't understand the complaints. There's a lot of good stuff in season 3. But yeah. I think that's back. Oh, well, no, it does have a stick on both sides. Yeah, it is retro, but the construction on this spacecraft is actually very well done. Like, it's super smooth. Everything looks like it's attached pretty solidly. Yeah, fun fact, the way they do that transporter effect is they had like a jar full of a somewhat viscous liquid with glitter in it, as I recall. And they basically shake the jar and then they turn it upside down. So the glitter will kind of fall downwards. And then they overlay that where the actor was. There might be a second level of the effect, I don't remember. But that's broadly how they do the transporter effects. It's antimatter, so we've put the negative filter on. Why isn't Kirk exploding? How can he breathe anti-air? The world may never know. I mean, it would have been hard to do the negative filter on everything else. And here, I think this is supposed to be like, you know, Kirk exploding. This is, when the Lazarus is touched, this is what all the energy is. But ooh, nice sunset shot. It's like, so Kirk's fine after like exploding a little bit. I actually really do like this nighttime shot. I like the sunset. We really, like, never see that. It's also not very grainy. Maybe that's the remastered. I mean, suddenly we're in a studio. That's... Why is this fit in the studio? You just clearly showed you could do a nighttime shoot. Did you have to reshoot this or something? This used to be on location, right? I swear I don't know, maybe it took a while to build. Of course. I was about to say, we call it matter. Well, don't worry about that. I guess in theory you could watch this episode a second time. Well, no, because like and understand more. But it was the '60s. No way in hell were you gonna watch this episode a second time. That's revolutionary, Kirk. You should take that equipment and regenerate a lithium crystal. Good enough. But negative magnetic, what does that even mean? What's a negative magnet? I do appreciate that the writer of this episode, the way they have the characters talk, I mean, the concept in general, just the demeanor, it is a very professional and, like, scientific experts talking sort of vibe, which I do appreciate. It's just, God, it needed to be attached to an episode with more. Like, the concept of an antimatter universe is not enough to carry a 50-minute episode of television. I don't know about that. Why doesn't this spaceship have a glass top? I'm only kind of just clocking that. I thought it was opened, but it just got, like, the rim of where the glass should go. Is that a medical tricorder? Friendly reminder that the entirety of the Star Trek universe from this moment onward exists because one guy is in, like, a fist fight with another guy outside the universe. I guess they don't age either. It's just a weird one, you know? Oh, there's the glass. It's on the floor. Next week is more interesting. Beep. Wait, so Lazarus was working on his machine. Spock and two security officers were standing watching him. Lazarus didn't notice out of his peripherals. They were just waiting around. Kirk showed up, and then they decided they would point Kirk out to Lazarus, and then they'd let Kirk do all the work. Yep, it checks out. The idea of an antimatter universe must have been way cooler in the 60s. I mean, like, to be fair, the concept of parallel worlds, you know, and a lot of this stuff probably was much more novel. I mean, to a lot of viewers, there's maybe even a chance they'd never, like, heard of it before. But, even still, If anything, I think that might make the episode a little more confusing, but... Not even like Sulu could be bothered to show up for this episode. Do we have Scotty yet? Scotty's in the cast, yeah? Yeah, Scotty's in the cast. He's just not in a lot of episodes. Because we don't have engineering yet. That was remastered quite clearly. That was pretty well done. I'm usually in favor of the original effects with stuff like this, but you know, I like my Enterprise not to have green screen holes. Wonder if he's gonna explain this to anyone. Like, what the heck just happened? How do you know? You haven't been here. Why won't they die? I don't... This episode's just... Like, I think this episode relies on the fact that you're inherently motivated to engage with the sort of topics and, like, think about what would it be like to, you know, be Lazarus in this situation. But after the 55 minutes, I'm just kind of too bored to... You know, I realize this probably wasn't the most engaging... But for that one person who really wanted to know what I thought about the Lazarus experiment, not that, what the heck is this called? The alternative factor. What do I think about the Lazarus experiment? Join Kaden and I watching Doctor Who. Oh, hey, here we get to see some of the original effects, actually. This is always fun, watching them. Here's everyone shaking. That's not the Tribble episode. That's got to be early. Well, no, they've got new uniforms. There's Court Martial. Actually, here's a good chance to see if the women get rank. There's Scotty in that famous tube that doesn't connect to the walls. You love this tube. That's actually a pretty good plant. Is that the Gary Mitchell one? There's an Orion slave girl. Yeah, it's just, it's the pinnacle of, like, a meh TOS episode. Is it? I think that's actually might be the first episode of TOS we've done that just had, like, nothing. I'm looking at the list now. Yeah, as you can clearly see. That's the first one. I think that's the only one this season, maybe, that just has got, like, nothing. We've got Space Seed coming up. I mean, we've got City of Edge of Forever. That's coming up. We've got some interesting stuff. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we got 9 episodes left of the season. Like 2 months. We'll be interrupted by Prodigy. Not much else. We'll see. I was thinking of doing that Star Trek, not Telltale game. What is it? Resurgence. On days where Caden couldn't do Doctor Who. But I might do some more TOS just so we can kind of get through. It's funny because I feel the series, at least currently, that I'm be kind of most interested in reviewing are like Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. But those are the furthest ones away, aside from the modern Star Trek I didn't get to. But it will take a long time to get to them. But yeah, I mean, I think next year on paper, we finish TOS. I'll have to do the video on Prodigy. I'll probably get that out tomorrow, like an explanation, whoops, of what's happening. We've got the thumbnails. I've got all the thumbnails. I got the 10th Doctor. I got the, it's Rock Talk, as I tease a little bit in the community channel. I think that one turned out very well. Very good. But yeah, I will wrap it up here. I will say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next